Welcome back, What You Doing, Weaver fans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is part 2 of Marriage for Life, the Debrief.
Verify. All right. Okay, I'll slow down. Like this, got all the answer on there, and when he gives us, go this way. And so he says his answer, you will hold it up just like this, and I'm quicker, and we can read your. You're cheating too! She did it on purpose! He's reading lips, she's flashing answers, I'm losing control! Oh, we're glad you're here, Brad. We learned a lot. What is the best present she said you've ever given her?
All right, if you want the answers to that and watching this craziness happen, go find part 1. I'll put it in the description. But now we're going to get into a little deeper debrief with Jaimi and me.
You can be the same, or you can understand that, like, you're red and I'm green. But even within those, like the flag thing, where it's like, this is how it plays out in your life, I think.
How it's interconnected?
Yeah, those like the 5 words.
All right, welcome back.
I didn't know you started it.
I know. Welcome back, What You Doing, Weaver fans. This is day 2. And we didn't do much recording. We woke up in the morning and had a good breakfast.
Delicious breakfast.
Yeah, delicious. They had sausage, egg for me, the healthier stuff.
Amish cream sticks.
And
Amish cream sticks and cinnamon rolls for me.
I don't know, are eggs and sausage really that much healthier?
I mean, I think so.
Protein?
Like, it's at least protein. Mine's
Instead
like
of the carby
carbs.
is sugary.
Sugar.
I had one too. It was pretty good.
Oh, they were so good.
Yeah, they were. They did a good job. What did we say, Carlie?
Yeah.
You did a fantastic job. Marriage for Life and the partnerships that have been created down here has really done well. And we're done. We had well, we're not done. We're going to go do something else.
The conference is over.
The conference is over. So I know that I can't record in there. I mean, I don't think it's appropriate to record, but I would have liked to. I mean, you have to go buy his stuff. He has CDs and DVDs. And I have to be honest, and I think you'll agree with me, that going into the conference, we've seen Mr. Mark Gungor before, and we were a little apprehensive about the process. But I'm going to say that he is a fantastic communicator and is very charismatic and is able to get information across to a large group of individuals, hence what he does, in a very succinct manner and joking manner to allow for some deep, insightful thoughts to come across very pleasantly. Even though he's just, he's telling it like it is. At least that's what I think. I mean, that's one of the, I guess I'm going to ask Jaimi one of her takeaways that she had in one of the highlights, and I'll go with one of my highlights for me is that our friends were up on stage, as you saw earlier, because I believe that I put that in there earlier, but they got up on stage, and that was like just a fun time for their relationship and for our relationship as friends to connect through laughter.
For sure.
And that, I think that was my highlight. What is your highlight?
Yeah, that was my highlight too, for sure. Like,
connections.
That we asked them to come and brought them, and like they're a newer friendship, so you just never know how people are going to connect or how it's going to go. And we had a great time. I mean, there was not a dull moment. There wasn't, and I don't even think there was like anything awkward.
No.
It all just, the weekend just flowed so well. And we just had a great time with them and learning about them, learning more about them and their relationship a little bit. But then, yeah, that they got pulled on stage, they never,
They weren't even going to play.
No. And when I talked about it,
I got
I'm
the
like,
cards for them, the 3x5 cards.
Right, right. And when, you know, we even talked about it, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, it's only the people that like get them all right that they'll pull on stage. And then they changed the game. Yeah. So that it wasn't like it was, you know, kind of one from each group or whatever.
So it was a newlywed game, as you saw, and they pulled, they did 10, the people that got all 10 questions right, but then they started pulling from the 8, the 9, and the 7.
Yeah. And so then when they called their name to go on stage, they just like were, I mean, I was in shock.
Yeah.
You were in shock.
We were all like, did they just call?
There was like no way that it was going to be them. And then it was. And I think, I mean, I know Brenda was totally humiliated to go up there. She doesn't like to be in front of people or whatever. But I think,
Brad,
like,
I think
they
that
had so much fun. And it just lightened the mood. And then I think it just, I don't know, it was definitely the highlight that they just had fun and we had fun. And
yeah. I think also, Brad, I know you're watching this because you're going to watch it. I think you were born to be on the stage. You're the rake shovel guy. That's what he's going to be. But yeah, so that was definitely the highlight. Not that Gunger wasn't good in the information that he's provided. It's just that for us, having that connection to the relationship on the stage and the friendship. And I mean, I believe that is always going to be a connection with our friendship now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
like that was the highlight, like you said.
Yeah,
but like
exactly.
there's takeaways. Like our takeaways are different.
Yes.
That was definitely the highlight.
All right. Well, what was your takeaway?
Well, I don't think I can talk about my takeaway without crying.
Let's talk about it.
But like that when we were doing the flag thing.
So there, I'll put in the description. He has a tool, an online tool, and it's I'll put it in the description. I completely
I think it's
forget.
called like the flag something. The flag.
Right here. It's gonna come right here. I'll put what it is.
But that, when we were talking about that and talking about different, like just how people tick, I think initially, like I said earlier, we know what our personality type is. Like we know that much. But this one like goes deeper. And so when Mark was talking about his and learning more about himself, not just your personality, but more like what your values are and stuff. And he said like maybe he finally thought like maybe I'm not a mistake. Maybe God created me for a reason. And it just makes me weep. I can't talk about it because it's very emotional.
A little clarification of, so he is a very flamboyant, boisterous, good speaker, good communicator, very like I said earlier, he's doing what he's doing for a reason. But in his first 40 some odd years, he was, for lack of better words, I'm going to say oppressed. And that's what we took away from it, that he was oppressed, and like people were telling him like, you can't leave, you can't do this because you're not serious. You know, in the church, you need to be serious, and you need to take
like
things
you're
serious.
just too much.
Yeah, you're just
over the top.
I was going to say over the top.
You don't need to be the center of attention. Like God should be the center of attention.
And then he had a senior pastor or someone connect with him that saw this test that was taken and said, "Hey, this is who you are?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's you." And he actually said, "I'm sorry that I'm that way." And the pastor was like, no, we need to build on this. And he continued to flourish. And so, if I'm not mistaken, are you also saying that there's aspects of your life that you feel that, you know, maybe even me as a husband, you know, and if it is, I apologize. And I think it's important that everybody should be themselves. That everybody should like flourish into who God truly made you to be. And I think it is difficult because life can be difficult. I mean, am I hearing that correctly from? So I mean, you know, it's, I would agree. I don't know if that is my takeaway with it, but hearing it, that is your takeaway. I knew that when it was going through and you were having the emotional response then as well. And I would encourage you to continue to be yourself, be who God intended you to be. Because you are a wonderful wife and a wonderful mother. And you know I truly believe that. But in that aspect, I think life is difficult and life beats us down. And I think we need to continue to control life as much as we can control it. Maybe control is a bad word there. But we need to live life, well, we need to live life together. And just like we've always said with our channel, is that we're living life together in each one of these life moments. And I think we need to do that. Maybe we need to add living life together in each one of these life moments in who God created us to be. And you can interject at whatever. But I think one of my takeaways, which now actually I forget. I'm actually more thinking about your takeaway than I...
Can we pause so I can blow my nose?
Hold on. All right, we have to take a short break.
Momentarily.
Didn't think that you would want to listen to...
Me snotting it up.
I'm joking. We're being funny, but we just took a little snot break. So, going back to takeaways, and I honestly forgot my takeaway because I was focused on the sincerity or the aspect of yours, because I think it was a big aspect of it when I saw it happening. Like, I already knew that was the case. Like, I knew that was going to be a aspect of your takeaway because of your emotional response to it. And you are an emotionally respondent individual, which I'm very happy about, although I am not. Actually, during a lot of the process, I think you would also agree that I'm very stoic. And so he's making jokes, and I'm not really laughing on the outside, but I am laughing on the inside because stuff was funny.
Not always.
Not always. But I'm a stoic individual, or I think... what are you laughing about?
I'm coughing.
So I think that was one of my takeaways for me, and I don't know if it's my top takeaway because I literally forget my top takeaway, but one of my takeaways were, so I don't know how to fully explain it, and maybe you could help me as I talk it through here. I am a stoic individual, and I believe it's because of what I do.
Your job, yeah, for sure.
And because of that, it impacts my response in life, or it has impacted my response in life. I've changed over time, but I mean, we all do. But prior to my job, I was more like Mr. Mark Gungor in the fact that I like to joke. I like to play around. I still like to joke and play around now, but I'm cautious on who I do that around. I enjoy having fun. And so a part of that test that we probably should have looked up before we started recording again. A part of that test, should I turn right here or go straight?
Straight. I don't know.
So a part of that test is, it identifies where you are and who you are and why you're that way. And there's aspects within that test that intermingle. And so I was listening to that and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like that. No. And I was internalizing this. But I have a little bit of this and I have a little bit of that. I have a little bit of control. I have a little bit of funny. And I thought to myself, back when I was younger, back when I was in high school, back when I was in college, I was more open and funny than how I am today, more stoic and serious. Like I follow rules. I enforce rules. I make sure that people are doing the things that they're supposed to be doing when they're supposed to be doing it. Well, that wasn't who I was when I was growing up. I was more breaking the rules. I was more like, not breaking it, because I didn't break laws. I bent rules and I bent
Well,
aspects.
I still think that's who you are.
Yeah, but I like
Finding loopholes.
I found loopholes. I still find loopholes, but
Manipulate situations.
maybe manipulate situations, manipulate people, and so it's like I was having fun in life more. I sometimes feel like that is missing now.
You get bogged down, yeah, for sure.
And I don't think it's just like life. I think life in general is an aspect of it. But I also believe that it is like a portion of my job and a portion of who I've had to become because of it. And I don't know if that has damaged, you want to call, like living through life. I don't know. I mean, I think we have to adapt. I don't know what your feelings is about it, but I think you have to adapt in life, in situations. But is the adaptation of who I've become a bad version? I don't know. I don't think so, but yet there's aspects that I think that I could go back to my ways. Now, I have a little bit, like in the job that I do, I used to be more of a strict, this is the way it's going to be, and I found that it was hurting me personally, but more importantly, it was hurting us. And I wasn't okay with it. And you helped me identify that. And so I have adjusted the way that I manage. And I try not to be as stressed about things that happen in what I do. It's difficult.
For sure.
But what are your thoughts on that?
On what?
On the fact, like, the difference between maybe, because you knew me when I was younger.
Yeah,
then-
I was going to say, like, I feel like, again, like, we know our personalities. We've done a lot of, like, personality tests. I've done a lot
Research.
of, like, you've done a lot more personality tests. I've done a lot more with the 4 colors. Because of my mom's group. Like, I dive into the colors a little bit more. And so I think
Why
like,
don't you explain what the colors are? Just real quick.
well, I don't want to do it injustice.
Well, just
I don't even know what it's called, but there's 4
summary.
colors. What?
It's just a quick summary of it. It's like
Yeah,
all it
just
is like
4 different personality types: red, yellow, green, and blue. Red is control, leaders, like natural born leaders. Blue is like introverted, melancholy. They want like perfection. Yellow is fun, and they want to be the life of the party. Green is peace. So they just want everybody to get along. They're the peacemakers. And so we've done that with our family. Like, we've identified the different personality types in our children. And so, like, Szymeon is red, just like you. And we always say that you and Szymeon are exactly alike because you're 100% red. But I do think Xzyion is yellow and red. And I think that that's probably, like, when we say you're 100% red, like, you are now. But, I mean, in the people that are in your, I would say, close circle also see the yellow. Like, you like to have fun. So I think if we were to do the test, like this test in particular, it doesn't just put you in one category. It tells you all the categories. And so, yes, you would be primarily red. You are a natural born leader. You're good at what you do. You're good at leading people. So I think you would come up red, but I think you would also come up pretty strong in the yellow department because that's your true personality. It might not always come through because of the job you have, but the core of who you are still likes to have fun, still likes to joke.
sometimes
Sometimes at the expense of other people.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that's.
Now, don't take that the wrong way. I'm
if
not
we
a,
were
I'm not
to-
a mean person. I never, like, even in
Well,
high
you
school.
don't intend it to be
Yeah.
mean, but I think.
But I
it's-
also say things that I don't like. If you don't, I'm not kind of. I am. I'm the person that, like, either you like me or you don't.
Right.
And if you don't like me, I'm okay with that. You have a choice whether you like me or you don't like me, and I'm okay with your choice.
Like, you're not going to apologize
Correct.
for who you are.
Correct.
Whereas
There's others that would
feel
apologize.
Like I have to apologize daily for who I am.
See, and
that's
that going
what
back
it-
to that.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry if I know for a fact I played into that, and so I apologize, and that was never my intentions. But I don't think that you should or have to. I think you're a wonderful individual. You know that. That's why I married you. It's good to hear, just like it's good to hear, I love you, because I do. And I think, I don't know where that came in your life and why it's there, but I don't think you need to apologize for who you are, because just like we just learned tonight, like, God made you who Jaimi is for a reason. And I think that you are fulfilling that reason daily. In everything that you do for our family, and everything you do for me, and everything you do for our extended family, because you're very involved in the extended family, you are fulfilling the role that God has created for you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm not just saying that, people. I truly believe that.
Yeah. Back to the point, though. You don't apologize for who you are.
No, I don't. I don't apologize.
That's just who you are.
I actually,
Take it or leave it.
yeah, and this would be a bad part that I have worked on. I have a problem apologizing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because
For sure.
a lot of times it is, I would sometimes mistaken my, oh, that's who I am, which this is something that I have changed about myself. I don't know if you've noticed that. I mean,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
like,
I've
I don't
noticed it,
say, well, that's just who I am. Whereas early on in our relationship, I'm like, well, that's who I am. You're either gonna like it or
but- right.
get
Then
over
why'd
it.
you marry me?
Yeah, exactly. Why'd you marry me? And it was bad. It was poor communication and poor relationship thoughts. And I've grown from that, or I feel that I've grown from that. And it's still a process. I still think it. Like, you're just going to take it. That's all there is to it. That's who I am. But in reality, I've adjusted who I am. Thanks to her. She has challenged me as a wife and as a mother, challenged me to be a father, a better husband, a better person. So I give credit to her in the process that she has worked with me through. Better communicator. I used to be the person that
For sure.
would say, I'll be home in 15 minutes, and 3 hours later, I'm still not telling her where I am. That doesn't happen anymore. Men, if you were doing that, just tell them you're going to be 3 hours.
Right.
They might not like it,
Oh no.
but just tell them 3 hours.
But
Hey,
they
I'm
still
still-
won't like it when you're not there, when you say you're going to be there. So
Correct.
then, like, it's a double whammy because
Yeah.
you lied, and now they're still mad at you.
Yeah, correct.
You
If
just
you
don't
say,
have to deal with it immediately.
yeah, correct. If you tell them they're going to be 15 minutes and you end up being 3 hours, well, just like Jaimi said, I was lying to her, and you should not be lying in a relationship.
Right.
That's not
But-
building a good relationship.
Another takeaway: you also don't need to be brutally honest.
I heard that, and that is directed towards me,
I wanted to
folks.
ignore that. Is that what you were going to say?
No.
I heard that, but I just
I
directly
believe-
ignored that.
No. I did not ignore that. I agree with that takeaway. So, you're directing that towards me, correct?
Well, I think we have been brutally honest in our relationship,
True.
and it has caused hurt that doesn't need to be there.
Okay.
Like, we have vowed to be brutally honest with each other when, like, it sometimes, like, it probably was at a detriment to our relationship. I mean, part of why I probably feel like I need to apologize for who I am is because you've been brutally honest with me and told me my stories are too long and you don't want to hear it and get to the point, and you're socially awkward in situations and you can't talk to people, and it's embarrassing to me when you just when someone asks you how you are and you just answer their question and walk away.
All facts here, folks. All
So
facts.
all of those things, like, because we are brutally honest and have been brutally honest, and we do tell each other everything, there are probably aspects that I could tell Brenda, not about our relationship, but like stories that I can share with Brenda that I don't necessarily need to share with you.
Yeah. But to be frank, I can't think of something that you've been brutally honest with me about that I was like, well, so another takeaway, because it goes with this sort of, I think I can connect it. Like, he was talking about being content, and I feel, for the most part, I'm a content individual. And how it relates to what I'm saying, my takeaway is that going back to the fun aspect of who I was, like, I am a happy individual. Like, in my life, I have fond memories of my past. I have fond memories now. I feel like I like living in the moment. Like,
I do think that.
I ended
You
up
do
going
try.
to a different school after college. That one of the takeaways I took from that school is that you had to be in that moment. And I had a breakthrough at school that maybe that'll be for another video. Or I know it'll be another video, or it could be another video. Is like at a moment of basically coming to grips with eventually going to be losing my dad. And that, I don't even know if you know this, and that gave me a understanding that I need to be in the moment in every situation, specifically with at the time with my dad and the relationship that I have with him. And so it opened my eyes about it. And so I think in life, I am in that moment. Like, I don't believe in the good old days. Like, I believe my days past are good. I have fond memories of it. And so I'm a happy individual. As it relates maybe to you, I don't know that you always have that fond memories.
No, very true.
And so I guess the takeaway was that he was saying, like, be happy. And I honestly, it's one of those, I looked at you and wanted to give you the elbow.
Nudge.
I don't think I did. I tried not to because
I don't think you did.
there was a multiple peoples around us. There was multiple people around us that would do that nudge, like when something was said, and I'm like, that looks so bad. I don't know why. Like,
Right.
don't throw your significant other. If you take it away from me, this is what I'm telling you. Have conversations with your wife behind closed doors. Don't make her look like an idiot in front of other people.
Right.
And I think you would agree that I've never done, I try very hard not to do that. If I've done it,
sure.
Okay. What I have done, as you've heard, is I would talk to her afterwards and be brutally honest with her that maybe isn't the correct way to do it. So the takeaway from him is sometimes go tell other people. And I think he said, girls, don't have your man be your girlfriend.
Or also, I mean, not just like talk about it with other people, because when it relates to like me being socially awkward, like that's just something like, if you truly believed that God made me this way and it's okay, it just doesn't need said. Like,
Valid. I would say that is extremely valid. And I think that's where I have to change my behavior in this, I guess for lack of better words, the censorship of my language. Because words hurt. They don't really hurt me, but I'm a different individual.
right.
That's not true. I mean, I don't need someone to tell me that I did a good job because I know I did a good job. But it's nice then someone says, hey, I like that you were able to rebuild an engine or something, or I like that. I don't know.
Right. Well, and especially from me though, like you do
Yes.
need me to praise you.
Biggest cheerleader. I would 100%.
Treat your husband like a dog.
Yeah, true. Scratch my ear. So I would agree with that.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
I would definitely agree with that because wives, if you're listening, even though I'm a very strong individual, I need your praise. I need to know that you are for me and not against me.
Right.
And vice versa, husbands, you should be loving on your wives. And love can be in very different aspects. And one of the ways you can love on your wife is knowing that she needs to know that you're the biggest cheerleader. That, I'm not talking sexual. I'm talking
No,
like,
that's helpful.
although it is helpful, 100%. But I'm saying like knowing that you're there as a husband to comfort them in situations, even when you don't want to listen to a long story. And I'm working
You
on
don't
that.
feel like
folks.
you're in that moment.
Yeah, well, I think I've told you this before, but a lot of your stories, it's like she's reliving it, right? Like in every detail, and it's actually making me stressed. Like, I want to go rip someone's head off because of a situation that happened at work or happened with,
Right.
back in the day, your old bosses. And like, I would like, I want to go hurt that person. And you're sitting there telling them this, and like, no,
You're
that's not
reliving the
okay.
moment with me. Yeah.
Like, you're not allowed doing that to my wife. I'm not okay with you doing that to my wife.
Right.
So I think that's a portion of why I don't need all of that stuff, because I'm like, why didn't you do this? Like, I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah. Another takeaway was like when we were talking about the 4 different countries, and it's like you see what your partner, like, I know you're red and I know this is what you need, so I'm going to make sure that you don't get it.
Oh,
and how
yes.
wrong that is. But it is very true, like, because you don't need praise from other people, that it's easy for me to be like, you think you're so good, like, let me knock you down. And that's not my job as a wife. Like, so I think I have done that. I mean, not think, I know I have done that, because it's like, you don't need praise from me, but you do, but you won't admit that you do. So then I'm not going to give it to you until you admit that you need me. You know, so it's like, why do we do that? And the, like, things that you probably, I mean, I can't think of an exact example for me that, like, you know that's what I need, so you're going to make sure that I don't get it. Like, that's, when you say it that way, when he said that on stage, I'm like, that's so evil. Like, that is sinful nature right there.
Well, I can give you
Because
an
I
example.
know your personality. I know 100% your personality. And it's like, because you are so confident, when he said about, like, how you can tell the difference between a red and a blue,
And
like, blues
you tell
are
them-
perfectionists.
Yeah.
And they often get called control freaks, and it makes them really angry. If you call a control freak, they're like, yeah, that's darn right I am. I'm controlling this situation. And that's how it is with you. Like, you're proud of who you are, and you should be. God made you to be a leader, and you're good at it. So I think
I took that away as well, because it was like, well, here, I'll just give you the example. So I know in a fight, you
Oh, yeah,
need
that's
to
good.
know.
That's a good example.
Yeah, it's a great example. Come on, give it to me. So I know in a fight that Jaimi needs love, and to know that I still love her, even though, I guess, fight a conflict, any type, like a
Right.
conflict.
Well,
I'm good with conflict. You work through it. So I'm good at manipulating words. I'm good at putting people in their place.
Yep.
Even though maybe I shouldn't. In this example, is that I shouldn't be. And so when I do, and we get in an argument, a conflict, a fight, not physically, we don't physically do stuff. Afterwards, after we've resolved it, because we do resolve it, well, not always, but we try to resolve it, I know that Jaimi wants a hug, a kiss, holding. I am not that person. I am the person, once we get in an argument, I'm done. I need to decompress. I need to, like, just, for lack of better words, let it go and forget about it. It doesn't work. And so I have made conscious decisions to give her hugs and a kiss, even though I don't feel like it. Even though it is not in my best interest as an individual and person, but it was something that I know that Jaimi needs. It's difficult, I can tell you.
Well, and I think it depends on, I mean, don't
It
get me
depends on
wrong,
the conflict.
You've
and
come
the
so
argument.
far, and you have changed your ways because of that. But I think there are still some conflicts when you, like, are in your sinful nature, and it's like,
I mean, I'm done.
you know, we haven't
for sure.
resolved it necessarily, and it's like, no, I'm not ready for that yet.
Oh, for sure.
And I mean, there are definitely still times where you make the conscious choice to continue to hurt me.
I
And you
can't
don't think of it as that, you know, but it's like, no, I this is not resolved, but we need to go to bed or whatever the case might be. And it's like, no, you're not getting that from me.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, you have come a long way and you recognize it. So it's like, you know, maybe you will even say something like, you know, maybe it's not like a kiss. Maybe it's just like,
I still love
you touch my hand, or, you know, just something.
So what I'm going to say is, unless Mr. Gunger, I doubt you'll watch this, but if you do watch it, I'm going to say you did good to this marriage for life.
Oh, for sure.
I
For
mean,
sure.
Going into thinking about, well, we've seen him before, you know, what are we going to learn? And I think that this is pretty much
This is
evidence
new.
that we've had a takeaway.
For sure.
Now I think we need to apply the stuff afterwards now.
Right,
but
right.
I
It's
think
not just a conversation.
just
and then,
talking this through, that's a lot of takeaway.
for sure.
That's more takeaway than I thought I was going to have.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you. Thank you. I mean, I want to continue doing life together with you
Absolutely.
in each one of these life moments in our family. So, if you found worth, and
This was sort of a serious one.
yeah, it turned out that way. I mean, just
Maybe for a more mature audience, we need
Yeah.
to put a little.
if
tag
you
on
want the
it.
funny, just back up like this a little bit and get back to Brenda and Brad's.
Right. Right.
But this is the ending, and maybe this will be a totally separate video. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out once we get to the edit stage. But if you found worth in our video, make sure to
Like, subscribe, and ding that bell for future notifications. And I'll see you all.
in the next video. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.